God bless you, Dr. Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final speaker has arrived, Dr. Ron Paul. Let's hear about that campaign, sir.
I got you.
Thank you very much. Delighted to be here today. A lot of excitement here. Nice, good to see a nice crowd. You know, my campaign has been going on for a long time because we've been campaigning for liberty in this country, and we don't have enough of that. We have too much government is the biggest problem, and we've been trying to reduce that. All the problems that we have in Washington today are a consequence of us in Washington not having enough people to obey the Constitution, and the government gets too big, we're too much in debt, too much spending, too much printing press money. We're doing all the things that we should be doing, and we're ignoring the things that we should do. So my proposal in order to get this budget under control is in the very first year to cut $1 trillion out of the budget. I think that's Of course, our economy is in bad shape. If you look at what's happened over the past 10 years, the net employment of 132 million people has stayed the same. There are no new jobs. And there's a reason for that. Because government is too big and they regulate too much, and we have a business cycle caused by the Federal Reserve System, which we should address. We should audit the Federal Reserve and decide that we need sound money, not paper money in this country.
Yeah!
This year there were 40,000 new bills, new laws passed on January 1st. And in the last 10 years, we have had 56,000 businesses closed down. It's unrelated. We have too many regulations, too much taxation. We have this too much interference in the business cycle by the Federal Reserve, and this is why we have a bad state of affairs in the economy. Our debt right now is, of course, nearly $16 trillion. We're the biggest debtor in the history of the world. We're living on borrowed money and printing press money. And believe me, this cannot continue. We cannot be the policemen of the world. We can't be involved in every skirmish. We can't get involved in everybody's internal affairs. These wars that we've been fighting recently cost us $4 trillion of additional debt. There is no way we can pay it. There's no way that we should be looking to get involved in another war. So I advocate a foreign policy that the founders gave us, the Republican Party strongly stood by, and that is non-intervention in the affairs of other nations. Have a strong national defense. If you need to fight a war, you declare a war. Presidents aren't allowed to take us to war under UN banners. That's what's happening today. We should declare a war if we need to, win the war, and get home again and not stay. Our government is intrusive in many ways in the affairs of other nations. It's way too intrusive in the personal affairs of all of us today. And our privacy is gone. They can invade our homes without search warrants now. And even our president is talking about the fact that he can arrest American citizens with the military and he assassinate American citizens. I mean, we can't allow a president to declare this. This is undermining the whole concept of the liberties that our founders gave us and put into our Constitution. So we are at a state where we have to decide what the role of government ought to be. And the role of government ought to be for the protection of liberty, not to manage the economy, not to manage your personal lives, not to tell you how to spend your money, and not to tell everybody around the world what they ought to do with their problems in the world. We should set a standard. We should set a standard of a strong economy, personal liberties, a strong national defense, and make it so others would want to emulate us and follow us. We cannot force ourselves on others. We can't force rules on individuals. So that is what, the protection of liberty is what made this country great. I would like to see the day when we restore the greatness of this country and return to a republic once again.
Yeah! Woo! Thanks, Dr. Paul.
Dr. Paul, thanks very much for speaking with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to vote. Let's get in line and get ready to cast our ballots here. Voting is beginning. Thank you very, very much.
Dr. Paul. Dr. Paul, you can't really sign stuff on.
Thanks, Dr. Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Thank you, Dr. Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Okay, let's form our line and get ready to vote. Remember to take your sticker and put it anywhere on the ballot.
I saw like Kevin one time, like.
And then go ahead.